Hey guys, it's been a while, so I'm coming back to you with a pure Resonator deck list. As you can see, I play Soul Resonator, our best normal summon, as well as Searcher for Bone Archfiend. On top of that, from the graveyard, it's a perfect card effect destruction protection, as long as you control a Red Dragon Archfiend or a synchro monster that mentions it. Next, I play 2 copies of Vision Resonator. Really good extender. It's a special from the hand if there's a level 5 or higher dark monster on the field. On top of that, once we somehow send it to graveyard, it's our best way to search out spells or traps that mention Red Dragon Archfiend. Next, I only play 1 copy of Crimson Resonator. If I control no monsters, excellent starter, just summon it from the hand for free. And on top of that, this is the card that you want to send off of Bone Archfiend to the graveyard. That way, when you synchro summon Red Rising Dragon later, you can bring this card back, activate it, and special summon 2 tuner monsters from your deck. Next, one red Resonator. So you don't have to play this card, but I like to play it because there will be times where your life points are going to be lower than your opponent, and you're running out of time. You really need the life points to put you ahead to get the W. So this card is like the cheeky time card. Also, it's a tuner, so it does help with Red Supernova Dragon's effect to gain more attack. I played 2 copies of Synchron Resonator. I've seen people play 1, but I kind of like playing it at 2 simply because 1, it's another tuner. And on top of that, it doesn't really damage the deck's consistency to play 2, since it is also a non-once per turn. If this card is sent from the field to grave, you can target a Resonator and recycle it from your grave to your hand. Okay, I know I've mentioned this card a lot already, but Bone Archfiend, it's our ideal search target from Soul Resonator and really gets our combo plays going to go into Red Rising Dragon. Excellent card, you want to play this at 3, in my opinion. Next, 2 Red Lotus King, Flame Crime. This card just helps us once it uses itself as a synchro material. We're able to set up some of our trap card plays that mention Red Dragon Archfiend, such as Red Rain or Time to Stand Up. Really good card. Next, 2 Earthbound Prisoner, Stone Sweeper. We only really use this card so that we can search out a level 3 or lower fiend monster. So if you don't open Soul Resonator, then obviously you want to pitch this card and add it to your hand. Add Soul Resonator to your hand. Next, we're going to go into a bit of our hand trap lineup. So let me just move some of these cards out the way. 3 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit for the destruction if your opponent activates a card or effect. And then to stop some graveyard plays, we played 3 copies of Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. And for our on-field monster negates, we're going to play Ghost Moaner and Moonlit Chill. Honestly, I just play these hand traps because I personally like to play them within this deck, but obviously you want to adjust to what you have in IRL as well as your local scene. So you could replace this with Ash Blossom or Infinite Imperm, Nibiru, Veiler, anything. Just like for the staples, just switch out with whatever you need. On to our spell card lineup. I played 3 copies of Crimson Gaia. So it's a really good searcher. We could recycle Red Dragon Archfiend or a card that mentions it from our deck or grave to our hand. On top of that, this combos super well with the classic Red Dragon Archfiend, where on attack declaration, you can simply put all your opponent's monsters face down defense position and then just do a board wipe with Red Dragon Archfiend. On top of that, it recycles him as well, since if a card is destroyed by battle or card effect, we can special summon it back from our grave. Excellent card. 3 copies of Resonator Call. Yeah, it's just a searcher, nothing else to it. Like if we don't open Soul Resonator, then as long as we have this card in our hand, then we can add it, and it's not once per turn either, which is great. And then I play 1 copy of Resonator Command. I'm cognizant that a lot of people no longer play this card at all. However, I've noticed that it does help you search for one, Soul Resonator again, and two, it helps unbrick your hand because in the event that you open this card and the one Crimson Resonator in the opening hand, then you can simply send that card to the grave, meaning Crimson Resonator, and still get the search. Next, I play one Call by the Grave and two Crossout Designators. So we are playing 9 hand traps, so we do have a good amount of crossout targets as well as called by protection. And on top of that, it's just that with our plays centralizing on Red Rising Dragon, we need that effect to go off. We need it to resolve. So having this additional protection is excellent. Next, we'll move on to our trap lineup. Get over here. There we go. So, Red Zone. Good card. When your opponent activates a card or effect, and we control RDA or a synchro monster that mentions it, we can pop one. And on top of that, we can recycle a banished dark synchro monster. Red Rain. We send it with Crime Lotus, or discard it with Bone Archfiend, and as long as we synchro summon a dark monster, a dark dragon synchro monster, we can add it back to our hand. Really good, completely destroys the field, and just nukes everything. Sorry guys, it's been a while since I last recorded, so I might be a little repetitive. Next, Time to Stand Up. Honestly, we don't really play it for its main effect, we play it more so for its graveyard effect, where if we control a level 10 or higher dark dragon synchro monster, we can just simply banish it and negate it. And also it gives us 2,000 more attack, actually, for one of our synchro monsters, which is pretty good. Next, Fiendish Golem, as well as Fiendish Chain. Just one of each, because Fiendish Golem searches Fiendish Chain from the deck or hand, deck or graveyard, and sets it directly. And, they just search each other. Well, one searches the other, and they're both pretty good effect negates as well. So that concludes our trap lineup. Let me move on to our synchro lineup. Or extra deck lineup, I should say, but regardless. 3 copies of Red Rising Dragon. Not hard once per turn. This card, without it, we can't do a lot of our plays. It's our combo enabler. 3 of. 2 copies of Scarred Dragon Archfiend. So pairs really well with Red Dragon Archfiend because it can synchro summon the classic Red Dragon Archfiend once this card is sent to the graveyard, and on top of that serves as a board wipe for our opponent's monsters. I play it at 2. I think that is the ideal ratio simply because you want to have a bit of a decent mid game, you know what I mean? 2 copies of the classic Red Dragon Archfiend. I like playing it at 2 because I know you can recycle it with the continuous spell, Crimson Gaia, but having it at 2 just gives us a bit more consistency in terms of synchro climbing. 1 Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. So we don't really go into it, but he is a solid option because he can destroy as many special summon effect monsters on the field with attack less than or equal to this card, and it inflicts 500 per opponent's monster destroyed. So it gives us some burn damage, which could very well help us win in time. 2 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Just a good card. It's a quick effect. It targets a face-up card that our opponent controls and simply negates it. Really good. It's an Omni negate, but just for the field. Hot Red Dragon. 1 copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. We contribute it and bring back our Red Dragon Archfiend so that we can continue into more of our synchro combo plays. Red Nova Dragon. A lot of people don't play this card, but I just sometimes find that it's easier to summon compared to Red Supernova Dragon, and you just really want something big with a lot of attack points just to swing in for potentially game. Now Red Supernova Dragon, this card's great. Just banishes everything. And if you pair that with what is it called, Red Rain, then you get double the banished board wipe. Really good card, and because we're playing 9 hand traps that are additionally tuners, we can increase the amount of attack points we boost this card with. Next, Kubilt, the Blade Dragon. I have no clue if I spelled that right, but basically, if this card is synchro summoned, we can target a card on the field and pop it. And if this card is destroyed, we can target a face-up monster in the field, and it can't attack until the end of our opponent's turn. So really good. It's a bit of a utility card for sure. Next, 1 copy of Void Ogre Dragon. You know, a lot of our cards lock us into Dragon Synchro monsters that are dark. So this card fits the bill. And, you know, in the mid game, there is a likelihood where you might not have any more cards in your hand. So it does serve as a spell, trap, negate as well. So yeah, guys, that concludes our Red Dragon Archfiend profile. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.